Hi everyone, welcome to our channel again. This is going to be a tutorial video that nobody asked for. We're going to make this bracelet here. I'm going to show you guys how I wire wrap these little beads into a bracelet. So let's get started. The things that you're going to need to make this bracelet is, let's go over the tools first. You're going to need a round nose plier, a cutter, flush cutter. This helps with making a precise cut on your work, and then a flat nose plier for at the very end to put your clasps together, and a ruler. This one is in centimeters. Don't ask me why I got a centimeter ruler, because this is the only one I can find from my daughter's stash. So this will help you measure the length of the wire you're going to need so that you make a nice uniform loops. Okay, so there's that. And then for the bracelet itself, you're going to need a 24 gauge wire. This is the brand that I'm using, 24 gauge. It says tarnish resistant wire. So far this has worked out pretty well for me. So yeah, really good wire to work with, and it's very flexible. And then the choice of your beads. I like to work with pearls and these little crystals. Oh, this one. These tiny little crystals. These are Chinese crystals. They're very small. I don't know the measurements on these, but they're, I think, the smallest beads I've ever seen in my life. And then your just regular freshwater pearls. Okay, let's get started. As you can see, this is about 15 centimeters or 5.9 inches long. We're going to add clasps, and that adds a little more length to it, but this is going to be for me, so I didn't go all the way up to 7 inches because I wanted it to fit nice and snug on my wrist. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little sections looped together. So let's get started. Okay, step one is to take your wire. Don't cut it yet. You're going to take your bead, start with pearl. So step one is to put your pearl through the wire. Okay. Step two is to measure 3 centimeters. Okay, right there, of the length, and then bend it at 3 centimeter mark. Okay, that's step two. Step three is to get your round nose plier. Okay, let me show you the little bend I've made. Okay, take your round nose plier, put it right in that corner of the bend. Okay, and make sure to use the part of the plier where you want your loop to be. You don't want to go too close to the end or too this way or this way, because you want your loop to be somewhere around here. It may help to use a marker to mark that spot so that your loop is the same size every time. So I like my loop right here. I've done this too many times that I know where I want my loop. If you see this little ridge, this is where I like my loop to be. So we're on step three. So you're bending your wire exactly where you want your loop to be on your plier. Okay, bend it halfway. Step four, this is very critical. You have to move your plier up a little bit. Okay, and then bend your wire so that it's facing upward like this. Okay, so once you take your plier out, it should look something like this. Okay, you see your loop there, and then hold your loop this way. What step are we on? Step 5. And then start twisting your end of your wire. Usually goes up to 4 wraps around the wire. And then once you can't wrap anymore, take your flush cutter and cut it very close to your work. Okay, and then make sure that it is not sticking out or it's not gonna rub against your skin. If you have doubt, take your flat nose plier and push it in. That's it. That's your loop right there. Oops. Okay. Now push your pearl to its base, to its spot right there, and come to the other side. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a loop on this side too, but this time, step one is to take your round nose plier, hold it all the way close to your bead or pearl in this case, and then use the thin end of your plier, so that way there's just this much space on your wire to wrap it around. So now bend it. Step 2. Step 3, come to the spot where you're going to make a loop, and then make your half loop like the one we did before. Move your plier up a little bit, and then make your the rest of your loop. It should be facing upwards. And then at this point, take your ruler, and then now you want to measure up to 1.5 centimeter length from your loop. Where your loop ends, measure from that point onward to 1.5 centimeter and make a cut there, and then hold on to your loop and start wrapping around the wire until you can no longer make the wrap. Okay, and then we're gonna make a cut, and there you are. This is your first section. Okay, so to this we're gonna add our next link, which is going to be the crystals. So I'm gonna take 3 crystals. Again, you can use any beads. If you wanna use a bigger size, but just 1 crystal, you can do so. But I like the look of these little guys paired with the pearls. So here we are. I'm just gonna let that crystal drop in the wire spool, and then I'm gonna measure, same thing, measure your 3 centimeters, make a bend, take your plier, round nose plier, make your loop. Now this is where you're gonna add your link. Okay, once you have your loop in place like that, you're gonna add the first link you've made into that loop, make it come all the way around, and then hold on to your hold on to your loop, and then start wrapping. And then trim off your excess. I need to cut a little more. There we go. Okay, and then push your beads down, and then do the same thing. We'll go over it one more time. Hold your wire with your plier, but towards the narrow end. Make a bend, and then make your loop. Move your plier, make your other loop, measure your 1.5 centimeters, make a cut, and then hold on to this, and then start wrapping. there's our two links together, and then just keep going the same way until you have the desired length, the length that you want. So this is the length that I want, the 15 centimeters. And then to this, I'm sorry, that's my dog. Probably getting mad at a squirrel or something. I'm going to use just a simple lobster clasp. I'm going to take my pliers and just add my clasps to the end. There's one end, and then for the next. Okay, so that's it. That's our bracelet. Have it once I have the clasps in place, and like I said, I like my bracelets nice and snug to my wrist, and that's what we have. All right, thank you guys. See you later. Bye.